Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube lands, it's your boy Tuglow, and man, the Gundam live stream was awesome. It was so hype. A lot of the characters I don't know, but I'm very happy with what I saw, and I just want to jump straight into it. Real quickly before we do though, we did get a free Chalia Bull from G-Quox for the anime episode celebration. I do just want to highlight one thing that I really like about him, and that is that he has sway. He only has one chance step, that's totally fine, but he does have sway, so if you're still looking for sway units, he is one of them. Personally, that's one of my favorite abilities, so he is on the up and come up for me. Now, to start off their live stream, they just straight up said, here you go, here's 1,000 free diamonds, baby. I don't know who doesn't love free diamonds, and at first I was like, you know what, they just gave it to us just because they turned on the stream. Y'all need to turn on the stream a little bit more often, you know what I'm saying? But as they continued, they gave us our next roadmap, and let me tell you, this is juicy. Okay, now I will say, I only have seen, I'm currently watching Destiny, and I've seen all of IBO, Iron Blooded Orphans. I have not seen these three right here. I got no idea about them. But we have seen some units from it, so we'll look at that here in a minute. The other fantastic thing, I'm so happy about this, is the Generation Tower East. We have a tower event, baby, and I'm so excited to see, one, how it's gonna play, two, what kind of units are we gonna be allowed to use. Is it gonna be something like, hey, this unit, when it loses health, it stays like that for the next stage, or maybe in SAOMD where you could take a certain amount of units and you could only run 5 stages until you got to like a little checkpoint. Is that gonna be the same thing here? This is why I love tower events. They always have like so much like different capabilities within a tower event, and I feel like they have the potential to make a very good one. And so I'm extremely excited for this tower event. We also have the Fierce Enemy Assault. We'll get into that a little bit later. And then we have the map event volume 2. So currently we've got the map event going on. We're just going to get the volume 2 of that. Will they have changes to it? Will they give us a survey? I don't really know. But we've got the second one coming later this year. So starting off pretty strong, we've got the Seed Destiny stages coming out. They did show some of the animations for it on the stream, and man, it looked really clean. It looked very clean, so I'm excited to see that. And then they showed us some of, not all of, that's why it says partial, developable units. Some of the ones that I personally have noticed from the show is the Impulse and the Savior Gundam. I'm not that far into it, so I can't really say that I've seen all of these, but at the very least, off the top of my head, I know I've seen Impulse, I know I've seen the Savior, but here's just a small list of that. We've also got a small list of the pilots that we can get from this as well. And then we move into Char's Counterattack. This is coming on the same day as Destiny. And you know what that means? More diamonds, baby. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I love it. And then they showed the developable units partial. Again, obviously they don't want to spoil everything. I will say they showed something off for the High New Gundam. And if they got it down here, I'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's continue. We've got the characters for Char's Counterattack, just a couple of the pilots. They don't want to give us everything. Then they've got Thunderbolt coming in mid to late July. Honestly, I don't even think it's going to be mid. I would really prepare for like the 20s and onward in July. I wouldn't even think about it being in the teens. I would think like 22, 23, 24 to the end of July. I ain't even going to worry about that. They also showed the new units from Thunderbolt here. I haven't seen it, but some of these do look pretty cool. I like this full armor one. That's a chunky boy. That's really cool. And then they showed us some new characters. I don't know who these fellas are. The Gaiden Sieg Zion Hen. No idea what this is. But I will say, when they showed off the priest gun tank animation, it was so adorable. This little fella right here was so adorable. And then we got to IBO. Now look, let me tell you, IBO, I really enjoyed IBO. I had a lot of fun watching it. And so I'm hoping that we get some good gacha characters for it. I'm hoping we get a lot of good characters from it in general. Of course, they're only showing partial, but they're showing us Astaroth, and they've got the Hakuri Rodi. I wish they showed more, but I get it. I get it. And then we go into our Fierce Enemy Assault. This is also dropping on the 30th. So we've got a lot of content coming for us on one day. And it's going to be so sick. And typically, you know, this is the 30th for JST. So this is really going to be like the 29th, but like super late at night for the US times. And then, man, when they dropped this, when they showed this, oh my god, I went crazy. I was like, oh my god, it's a tower event, it's a tower event. You know, I was so hyped. And, you know, you could tell earlier I was still hyped about it. I'm very excited for this. And then, oh, here it is. Dude, they showed off the animations for High New Gundam EX. Okay, this dude was like, brr, 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 and then he goes onto the ship. He gets on the ship, and then he's like, boom, and shoots a laser off of the ship, and just overkills this poor fella. I'm like, dude, that was so sick, man. It was so cool. And then, dude, they had for this one, you know, you see 3 characters here. I have no idea what was going on with that. I'm gonna be real. I ain't had no clue. But this High New Gundam, dude, that was insane. It was so cool. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all gotta look it up. It's so clean. Then they showed us the Gacha SSR characters that we've got coming to us. I don't know really a lot of them. Actually, I have seen this one. Luna Maria Hawk. I have seen this one. She's from Seed Destiny. I know Isaac. Oh, I know Diarca. I know him. All right, cool. That's about all I got, though. So I got 3 out of the 6. So, you know, I'm out here. 50%. What's up? And then we've got a new SR unit. I think this is the Desert Tiger. Andrew Waldfeld. I think that was the Desert Tiger. That's cool. That's cool. Then we got some UR and SSR supporters. Mayrin Hawk and the Minerva. I'm still currently watching that, so that's cool. I don't know either one of these two. It is what it is. And then they talked about the PvP update. You know, we've gone over it a couple times, but they just did it on stream as well. And then they also showed us, they were like, hey, you know, we had a little bit of feedback, so now we're kind of implementing a couple different things. And basically what this means is initial number of skips changed to 1 in the normal event stage. That doesn't mean that you can only skip it 1 time. What this means is when you typically would go to skip it, it would max out the amount of skips based on your stamina. So if it costs 10 stamina to do a stage and you had like 200 stamina, it would immediately just show 20. Okay? But for some people who would accidentally click it and then they'd use up their 200 stamina, they didn't want to do that, right? So now what it's doing is when you first click skip, you got 200 stamina. Instead of showing 20, it's only going to show 1. So that way you can adjust it on your own. And if you accidentally do skip, you only lose 10 stamina as opposed to the maximum amount of stamina that you have available to you. And then they brought out the BGM configuration settings. I don't speak Japanese. I don't read Japanese. But what I could assume is that for each character, you can choose the music that plays whenever you're using that character or doing attacks, and then until you use the next character and their attacks, then a different song or music will be played. I believe that's something to the effect of what's going to happen with this. And then they gave us some quality of life. You can pick and choose whose animations you want to download, so that way you can free up space on your phone and from the game. You know, if there's a bunch of little rare characters, little SR characters that you're not really using, you can actually just be like, hey, I ain't gonna worry about this, and just kind of take it out and free up some space. If you haven't seen it, they've got the Bandai Namco ID linking. I believe in the beginning they gave us 500 gems for it. And then they turned around and they updated it and they were like, yo, if you have it and you did it, here's an extra 25 on top of that. So they gave us a free multi just for linking the game account to your Bandai Namco ID. So if you haven't done that, go ahead and get your free 3K gems, my brother or my sister. Now, I've got no idea what this is. I didn't see anything about this. They just flashed this up and then they started speaking in Japanese, and hey, you know, it is what it is. We gonna be celebrating something. I know they've been giving us something every week, whether it be a character, whether it be a supportership, whether it's a suit, and then they always be giving us a little bit of gems. This may just be them wrapping up and saying, hey, make sure you claim all this stuff. I would honestly love to see some G-Quox banners, some more G-Quox free characters, whether it's developable, whether it's you just give it to us in the mail, or if I gotta go pull for it. Like the anime, I finished it today and it was just awesome. I had a great time watching it, loved it, loved the animation. It was just phenomenal. And then last but not least, since we are having 2 different stories come out on the same day, on top of the fierce enemy assault, they are gonna be giving us some AP packs from the 25th to the 7th. So I guess technically for US times that would be the 24th to the 6th. But regardless, we still gonna get our AP packs, so make sure you log in, make sure you claim those, use those, and let's get to juicing. I will say I'm so hyped. I think this is amazing. We do have a massive roadmap, so that way we can see what's going on in the game, and it's just like got so much hype kind of like built up, but it's also spread out at the same time, so it's not everything at once, right? And then they could also turn around, let's throw in a little PvP, you know, over here, so that way we're still steadily getting our diamonds, we're still steadily getting a good influx for the economy, and we've just got stuff to do. And man, I'm telling you, it's a great time to be a Gundam fan, and I tell you, I feel I jumped on board at a great time. Let me know in the comments what you're most hyped about. Are you hyped with me about the tower event? Are you hyped about more story stages? Is it some characters? Are you hoping for any characters in particular from these upcoming stages? Let me know down in the comments below. I'll be checking them out. I appreciate you watching the video. Hope y'all have a good one, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.